Well, good morning, everyone. Good to be with you at Bethany. Some of us at Bethany, as you know by now, had a very special trip to Israel, and the Kites were with us on that trip and got to experience some of the things there, and hopefully the Holy Week stuff comes alive in a little bit different way. So we're just going to ask them a couple of questions about their Israel experience, and hope that it benefits all of us. So, all of you, Nicole, Linda, Chuck, what are a couple of outstanding memories from your time in Israel? What sort of sticks out to you as an important time there?
For me, I definitely would say the Sea of Galilee. It was beautiful seeing everyone like come together and just worship God and be on like these beautiful calm waters, and it was amazing.
Yeah, to sing on the boat, right?
And to sing on the boat, yeah.
Yeah. And then just a few hours later, the wind was whipping over the...
Yeah, it was calm that day, and then that night it like turned into a storm. And you got to see kind of like in the Bible when it's like calm and then the storm.
Good, thanks. Good. Chuck, Linda?
Well, I think one of the things that stood out for me was there's so many of the stories that we've heard about and read that really came to life there. Bruce, our guide, was fantastic. He was like a walking encyclopedia. I think he knew everything about Israel, whatever happened there. And when we stopped at the Valley of Elah, I think it was, where David and Goliath got together and David slew Goliath, all the kind of intricate details of that and how that came together with, Jesse sending David to feed his sons and help there, and the conversation that took place when Goliath came out and challenged the whole army. Send one out to fight me, and no one went. And the interesting part to me, I thought, not remembering scripture all that well, that this was a 1 or 2 day thing. This lasted 40 days. And he came out twice every day and put that challenge out there. And I thought, boy, this has really come to life for me, and seeing what happened. And how, as you said before, and Bruce said, we don't think of that like, we Americanize that story. We don't think like the Jewish people do. They don't put themselves as heroes where David as a hero. They recognize they're weak, and they needed someone to help them. And this is why they chose Saul as a king in the first place. They wanted a king to rule, a king to help direct them. So,
Represent them before God.
yes.
Good.
That was interesting.
Awesome. Linda, what?
Well, I enjoyed everything.
Yeah.
We saw so many different places. It almost got to be too much with the history and the teachings and stuff. But what really amazed me was I always thought Jesus was walking like the whole length of Israel and that, and then to find out he only preached in like 3 to 5 miles was where he did everything around the Sea of Galilee. It was like, wow, that is something. I don't know why I had it in my mind that he like went up and down Israel, the whole thing.
Yeah.
And so that was amazing. And seeing all the ruins, and Bruce was telling us about the one highway that they wanted to expand, and they dug down and found more ruins. I mean, they were just everywhere alongside the roads. It was just amazing, just amazing.
So to highlight your point, just 75 to 80% of Jesus' teachings took place in a 3 to 5 mile radius around Capernaum, not in Jerusalem, but around Capernaum. So yeah, good, good. Any other highlights, things that jumped out to you?
Oh, where was that one place I was saying, like with the rocks?
Qumran.
Stop there and...
We left something behind.
Yeah.
So pick a stone up.
Yeah, they said pick a stone up and whatever you need to like kind of get over, like leave it here, and then also take a rock with you, what you need to take with you. And I thought, wow, that's really deep, And I think it was good for everyone, because I definitely feel like some people had some stuff they had to leave behind and take with them, and so I thought it was really good for everyone.
Awesome, good memory.
Yeah.
Good.
Seeing the cave where David was when Saul came in, but those caves, to even get to them, it was so rocky and steep, and the whole country amazed me. It wasn't what I expected.
The wilderness looks a little different than
Yeah, I guess I was thinking it was all desert, And then to see it green, like Bruce kept telling us, this isn't normal.
Yeah.
But it was so pretty. And before we'd gone, I said this to a friend. I said, you know, I don't know why God told Moses he was taking him to the promised land, because it was ugly. It was a desert. After being there, it's like, with all the green, it's like, wow, now I can see.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't Bruce say that only happens like in March or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really green like a month and a half out of the year.
Yeah.
So we were there to
So
go
it was
through
nice,
that.
yes, it really was.
Good. Anything else for you, Chuck?
Well,
Stood out?
I was thinking along the same line when we got up the next day and saw all the greenery and everything. It was more like a Garden of Eden than a desert that we had been, in our mind, pictured. And, you know, I've had a chance to hunt out west. I've hunted up in Canada. I've never seen any terrain like this. And going down the road, you could actually see caves back in the hillside.
Mhm.
And, you know, and Getty was impressive. You know, the springs of living water came up out of the mountain, out of the ground, and yeah, it was the whole trip. And to learn about the acacia tree, I didn't realize that probably what the thorns, the crown of thorns was made of.
Saw a lot of them, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Good. So, as you've had a little time to reflect on it, what surprised you the most? Like, what did you expect going and it surprised you when you got there? Either a site or a teaching or the overall thing or whatever.
One of the things that surprised me is the floating in the Sea of Galilee. We found that it's 38% salt.
In the
And-
Dead Sea.
Dead Sea.
or, I'm sorry,
Yeah, yeah.
the Dead Sea.
Yeah, yeah.
And,
Does he doesn't float?
yeah, I don't float.
Does now.
You said, I don't care if you float, you don't float, you'll float in the Dead Sea. And I did, and, well, we picked up some of the salt tablets or whatever they were, mineral deposits, I guess. And we brought some of those home, and, it was pretty unique. And then to get out of the water and you felt like you'd maybe just taken a dip in vegetable oil or something.
Yeah, yeah.
And it had the healing properties too, and I
Yeah.
think that's pretty neat.
Of course it does, right? In
Yeah,
Israel.
yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
How about you, Linda? What surprised you?
Well, like I said, the terrain and stuff, and when they were talking about all the things they grow, like we saw banana trees, and that they could grow there. That just surprised me. Now they do have coverings so that they don't get burnt and stuff, but and that they're number one of the avocado that they saw. That just amazed me, the different things that there was. I guess I always thought dates and
Figs.
olives and figs, and,
Sure.
but not all these other oranges and whatever else they had there. But the bananas, surprisingly.
Yeah. Good. How about you, Nicole?
I think it was definitely the sites where like we saw like where Jesus was imprisoned for the couple nights and stuff. And, you know, I always thought those images different, you know, and then actually being able to see them come to life, it really put a good picture with like what we were reading and hearing, and it was beautiful,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Mm-hmm. So,
And I think I thought everything was, when they talked about things, were made of wood, and it's like, it's all stone. It's just, wow, you know, and I'm thinking, geez, everything's stone. Of course, like I said, there were so many stones everywhere.
yeah.
I could see that, but yeah, I was surprised at that.
So even
She
the
didn't have a lot of.
translation of Jesus as a carpenter, he probably wasn't really a carpenter. He's probably a stonemason.
Probably.
Because that's what how many. You didn't see like big oak trees around
Yeah.
and stuff. Just lots of rocks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we looked at Right Now Media, and it was shown, because we didn't get to go to the Last Supper, the room,
Mhm.
and I don't know why, I always pictured that as like a wooden building,
Mhm.
you know, and it wouldn't have been. It
Yeah.
would have been stone, and it's like, wow.
Jerusalem's made of stones, right?
Yes, yes.
Good.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned that because this Last Supper and, sorry.
The Del Rosa, where he went, where he walked with the cross.
Well, we got into the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, and that in itself was amazing. And I wish we could have had a little more time in there, but 3 different denominations in one structure, and they can share that and, you know, get along well. And you know, it's all, the theme is the same through all 3 denominations. You know.
I would have liked to have been able to do more of the marketplace, but
There
I
you go.
couldn't.
Yeah,
There were, because it was so different, you know, and it's narrow,
yeah,
you know. I guess I didn't realize because of the way it's built, the Old Town Jerusalem, that when you're walking, it's almost like our sidewalks.
mhm,
And that's where they're walking, and they walk everywhere inside the
Yeah.
Old Town Jerusalem.
Yeah.
They don't have cars, I mean, and the ones that they had were little.
right,
And,
Right.
I mean, when you saw those, I would call them sidewalks, but they were their streets, it was, but I would have liked to do more in the marketplace. That's, she said, I want to shop more.
and the events of Holy Week are so close together.
Yeah.
All in such a small area, when,
Yeah,
good.
yeah, that
I-
surprised me
I remember
too.
what was I wanted to say, it was about we were talking about the Garden of Gethsemane, we were watching the Right Now media with Joshua, I think is
Mhm.
Jeremiah, the hut, that's preaching that,
Mhm.
on Right Now media. And
Francis
everything-
Chan.
No. If
Oh,
you-
okay,
if you
never
watch-
mind.
If you watch that's Following Messiah,
Mhm.
if you watch that through the Right Now media, it just parallels pretty much what we've done.
Yeah.
The
What
River
we saw,
Jordan and,
yeah.
and the baptismal area and everything. So-
Good. So why should someone go to Israel? Now that you've been there, what would you say to someone who's never been there?
Just to experience it, to see like where Jesus was at, to see the Jordan River, to see where it starts, the three branches, to see where that starts. Because we did see the beginning of that. I can't remember the name of the place.
Caesarea Philippi.
It was amazing, all that water coming out of that mountain. And that was just one tributary.
Mm-hmm.
But it was gorgeous. And there was a whole mountain there also, and that's where the Romans
Mhm.
killed babies,
Mhm.
sacrificed babies.
That's right.
And
Mm.
that was just that was surprising too.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah.
that was where that was at, but
Good.
that was nice.
What would you say, Nicole?
Like I was telling my friend the other day, like my mom said, just to experience it, and like we went to the Jordan River and got rebaptized, and I said you're never gonna like get an experience like that again. You just have to do it. So
Mhm.
save up for 2 years.
Good. Great. Chuck?
Well, that's where Christianity started. That's where we got to start. And Linda mentioned about the Romans killing babies, and the Christians were the first ones to start orphanages.
Mm-hmm.
They saved those little ones that were taken out to the woods to left for the beasts to devour, and that's where our roots are at. And you know, it's amazing. It's just an amazing place. And you told us before we left that people would be emotional, and it hit me on the Sea of Galilee.
Mhm.
That the Holy Spirit was there. When I saw, Lauren in his late 70s, maybe early 80s, dancing out there and singing and praising the Lord, and everybody was, led by your wife's wonderful praise and worship time there. It was pretty emotional for me.
Great.
There's just so much to see.
Yep.
So many holy places.
Yeah.
That you just can't even imagine. Like we have a few things in the United, nothing holy.
Right.
But, you turn around and here's one thing, turn around, here's another thing.
Yep.
So close together.
So all of us would say to all of you, if you get a chance to go with us, we'll be going again in 2 years, and would love to have you join us and experience the unique place that the Holy Land is.
Amen.
So thanks to the Kites, thanks for this time for being here, and pray that you'll all have the chance to go with us someday.
And,
Yes,
Thank you.
amen.